Long time no see. So, I have quite the update. A couple weeks ago, I made the decision to leave Roehl. And it's a very hard decision to make, but I have kids to think about, and it got to the point that Roehl was, I was basically dying. Wasn't making enough money to pay my bills. My pay wasn't adequate. I was getting paid less than what I was originally told, and it was a mistake on my fleet manager's half that nobody caught until I caught it on my paycheck. And it was just a domino effect, I guess, ever since, I got my CDL. It was just one thing after another, and some of it could have been prevented by the company, some of it could have been prevented by me. I mean, it is what it is. And there were things that Roehl did that were good to me and for me. Getting my CDL and going through the training program, which I will say right now is phenomenal. And that has proven itself since moving to another company. And but there are some things that could have been handled better that weren't, and I suffered because of it. My family suffered because of it. It was very difficult for me to turn in those keys and resign from the company, especially now because I owe them like $7,000 to $8,000 for the CDL schooling. So that's great, right? But then again, I couldn't live off of, paychecks that weren't breaking, $300. That's just ridiculous in my opinion. Being a truck driver, you should definitely be making more than that. You're going to have bad weeks and good weeks, but it seemed every week was bad. And, it wasn't anything that I was doing wrong. It just, my cents per miles was quite low. Not the number that I agreed to. And, it just wasn't getting enough runs, and it was just an overall kind of a bad situation. So I had to give it all up. And then I quit 2 weeks ago, put in some applications at various companies, and they all immediately blew my phone up. And so I decided that I was going to go with mega carrier for the simple fact that I really want an automatic. That's what I'm most comfortable driving in. So I knew that the only way that I was going to get that is if I went with the mega carrier. And I also knew that I had to be very careful because mega carriers can often are the companies that can kind of jerk around their employees. But so far, I very much like the company I'm with, which is Schneider National. I am now a Pumpkinhead. This last week I have been going through their orientation, which I am considered an experienced driver for whatever reason. I guess I could just barely pass that mark to be considered experienced. So I had a 4-day orientation process, and I had to do a bunch of computer work, paperwork, kind of get a refresher on things. And then also we had to do a drive test, which is a lot less stressful, like a CDL test. You go and drive, they watch for you checking your mirrors and making sure you don't hit curbs and making turns correctly, following traffic signs, not impeding traffic, things like that. And then you also have to do a back, make sure that you can, back a trailer, couple, uncouple, things like that. And I only got 2 points off. I drove in an automatic, which was nice. I only got 2 points off, and that's because on 2 different turns I forgot to look at both my mirrors or whatever, something like that. But otherwise, no points on backing, no points on my actual driving. Didn't hit anything. I did a blindside back. the way they set you up was to do a drive side back, but I set myself up dumb, so I ended up doing a blind side. But lucky for me, I got it in there. Piece of cake. So yeah, I didn't want to make any videos until I got things figured out a little bit because I was super stressed. Things were not going my way. A lot of stuff going on at home. Just kind of worrying like about my future. You know, I got so discouraged that I considered just leaving the trucking industry altogether. And these are some of the realities that newer truck drivers and even older truck drivers are going to definitely face sometimes. Like, is it really all of this worth it? Being away from my family for so long, being away from my kids. You gotta really decide if, you know, trucking is something you want to do, because trucking doesn't just take part of you, it takes almost all of you, and you have to be willing to sacrifice those parts of yourself. And when I got behind that wheel again for the first time since leaving Roehl to do my drive test, you know, I was nervous, but it felt good to be behind the wheel again in a truck and a tractor and pulling a trailer and making your big wide turns, and I like it. I'm good at it, and I'm glad that I didn't run away and I didn't give it up. I didn't run away from Roehl. I left Roehl because my finances were getting into such a horrible place, and all the things that I did to try and fix it. I tried to work with Roehl. I tried to move to another fleet. I wasn't given adequate training, and I didn't feel comfortable, and I didn't have time any longer to get more training, to do this, to do that, because I needed to be on the road making money. I wasn't able to do that with Roehl, and I had to make the decision of either letting my entire life fall apart, losing my home, you know, getting all my, you know, services turned off, my phone, my electrical, like my husband and children depend on me to support them, and so I had to make the decision to stay or to leave and try and find a better option. I tried so hard to hold out because there were parts of Roehl that I really liked, but it wasn't the company for me. It wasn't in my cards, and so I had to leave. I had to say goodbye. So yes, that's where I'm at right now. I'm going to be on the Dollar General dedicated account. I'll be unloading the trucks at the stores. I'll be gone during the week, home on the weekends, which is really nice. And I got all my pay. I got everything documented. I cannot be accidentally screwed over this time. So yeah, so fingers crossed that this company works out for me. If not, I do have another job offer with a smaller company, but I would be driving a 10 speed, or I mean not 10 speed, a 13 speed. So I'm a little hesitant, but that option is there if Shiner doesn't turn out. But yeah, so that's my little update. I'll try to be making more videos again. I'm sorry, I kind of went off grid there for a bit, but yeah, so I hope you all had a fantastic few weeks, had a good 4th of July, blah 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 blah. Yeah, okay, I will talk to you guys later. Bye bye.